I know you. You're the
jaywalking public anarchist.
Why do right-wing extremists kill people and left-wing extremists don't? If we use the broad definition of violence to include property destruction, and if we use the very broad and vague definition of terrorism as violence committed for political ends, why is it that, with very few exceptions, right-wing extremists such as neo-Nazis, incels, Muslim and Christian religious fundamentalists, and others so often murder civilians, while left-wing extremists such as Animal Liberation Front, environmentalist extremists, anarchists, Antifa, and others typically go around destroying animal agricultural equipment, logging equipment, ICE and police vehicles, and other infrastructure, but whose body count is very few and far between.
Wade Michael Page, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, a member of the neo-Nazi Hammerskin Nation, kills 6 and wounds 4 during a shooting rampage in a Sikh temple.
The country is on fire. Now who's attacking us? Mr. Esper should know this. Right. It's Antifa.
Fraser Glenn Miller Jr. of Overland Park, Kansas, a former Grand Dragon of the Carolina Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, embarks on a shooting rampage at 2 Jewish community institutions, killing 3.
The violence and vandalism is being led by Antifa and other radical left-wing groups.
Alan Lawrence Scarcella, a white supremacist who had been infiltrating and filming Black Lives Matter protests, shoots and wounds 5 protesters at a BLM protest outside of a Minneapolis police station.
The individuals who are looting and the individuals who are Antifa and who are behind the violent actions we're seeing.
Dylan Roof, a white supremacist radicalized online, joins a Bible study at the Emmanuel AME Church and opens fire, killing 9 and wounding another.
We are now in the process of defeating the radical left.
Here is what the 2019 U.S. Murder and Extremism Report from the ADL had to say about the subject. The 42 total deaths in 2019 is less than 2018's total, 53, but higher than 2017's, 41. As is typically the case, the extremist-related murders of 2019 were overwhelmingly, 90%, linked to right-wing extremists. All but one of the incidents had ties to right-wing extremism. Let's look at some famous examples. On the right we have the Oklahoma City bombing, the Pulse nightclub shooting, the El Paso Walmart shooting, the Tree of Life synagogue shooting, and the Emmanuel AME church shooting. On the left we have Earth First doing tree spiking in the 80s, which damaged logging equipment, Earth Liberation Front burning down housing developments, SUV dealerships and chain stores, and Animal Liberation Front attacking meat and food processing plants and fur and leather companies, primarily in the 90s, Black Bloc and other anarchists smashing the windows of corporate chain stores and torching cop cars at various G20, World Trade, and other protest events, and Antifa actions such as Willem von Spronsen, who destroyed ICE detainment vehicles in 2019. Now, of course, there have been a few situations in which left-wing political violence resulted in death. The anarchists that shot President McKinley in 1901, the 3 people killed by the environmentalist extremist the Unabomber in the 80s, and the handful of anarchists and black nationalists and others who have shot police over the years, to name a few. But these are merely the exceptions that prove the rule, since the violence is overwhelmingly coming from the right. Recall the ADL stat mentioned earlier, which states, as is typically the case, the extremist-related murders of 2019 were overwhelmingly, 90%, linked to right-wing extremists. For more info on political extremism, I recommend the ADL's Murder and Extremism Report, the Southern Poverty Law Center's article, The Year in Hate and Extremism 2019, an Intercept article titled The Green Scare, How a Movement That Never Killed Anyone Became the FBI's #1 domestic terrorist threat, and a report from the Department of Homeland Security titled An Overview of Bombing and Arson Attacks by Environmental and Animal Rights Extremists in the United States, 1995 to 2010. Links in the description below. But okay, so why do right-wing extremists kill people and left-wing extremists don't? Well, I mean, you could just look at the manifestos, or social media accounts, or whatever political literature or thinkers are affiliated with the political stance of the person who committed the political violence in question, to try and understand their goals and motivations. Because, from my research, from what I've heard and read, the following explanation is what I've come to for understanding why right-wing extremists kill people and left-wing extremists don't. This is because right-wing ideologies fail to understand sociology. They don't understand that people are products of their environment. Right-wing ideologies have a very individualistic worldview. They believe that everything you do and have in life is the product of your individual initiative, and because of that, they believe that their problems are caused by the ill intentions and evil actions of individual members of a given community. Incels and men's rights activists blame women, religious and traditional family folks blame LGBT folks, nationalists blame immigrants, reactionaries of all stripes blame people of color or members of a given religious group, and so, right-wing extremists attack and kill those individuals. Left-wing ideologies, on the other paw, although they may be against the actions of individuals who work in, say, the meat industry or logging industry or immigration officers or police or whatever, they recognize that those workers are products of their environment. Left-wing ideologies recognize that what actually gives one person legitimacy and power to do harm to others is capital. It's systems. It is the animal agricultural infrastructure, the logging equipment, the construction equipment, the ICE detention vehicles and cop cars, which give individuals the power to commit harmful acts. And so, left-wing extremists attack that capital, attack that infrastructure, destroying property but not killing people. This is why right-wing extremists kill people and left-wing extremists don't. And as always, I'd like to thank my wonderful patrons. Your tremendous support has allowed me to get dog insurance, which is awesome. And you've allowed me to support other creators, which I couldn't afford to do otherwise. And you've provided me a little extra funds for books and dog toys and things like that, which is really awesome. I appreciate that a lot. If you folks like what you've seen here and want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/radicalreviewer. And if you're interested in radical theory, looking for a book recommendation or whatever, you can get your radical reviews here with the Radical Reviewer. Thanks for watching.
Turn their homes into collective housing. Yeah, their fears into reality. Yeah, they won't share what they've got. So you take what you need. Yeah, they won't share what they've got. So you take what you need.
I will restore the working man to his rightful glory. I will dismantle this oppressive establishment board by board. I will saw the tables of tyranny in half. Gnaw at the ankles of big business.
Blow it up! Blow it all up! Power to the people!